of yesteryear. Now we're on the Hebrew date Bet Shvat, the 2nd of Shvat, marks the Hilula of a really great rabbi, one of the great rabbis of Pורת, Yeshivat Pורת Yosef, Rabbi Mansoor ben Shimon, Zecher Tzadik Debracha. He was born in English year 1912 and passed away on the 29th of January in English year 1998, naturally on the 2nd of Shvat. He was a great famous Kabbalist and was one of the famous Rabbanim of Yeshivat Pורת Yosef in of itself. Let's explore some of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. Now, he was born in Tzfat, one of the 4 holy cities of Israel, and I believe he was actually the son of Harav Yaakov ben Shimon, who was a very great rabbi in his day. And his mother's name was Rabbanit Yael, and he famously was, I believe, the grandson, the descendant of Rabbi Masud Chai ben Shimon, another great rabbi who he himself happens to be the son of the famous author of the Suf Dvash book, which we've spoken about before, Rav David ben Shimon, or let's say one of the unsung heroes within regards to Israeli and Jewish history, which maybe people don't really speak so much about. I believe it was reported over when he was only 3 years of age. He sadly, I think his father passed away, and he would actually learn under auspices Torah under his uncle, Rabbi Aaron ben Shimon, who was another great rabbi who we've mentioned about on various occasions before. He was, I believe, the chief rabbi of Tzfat and the head of the Bet Yosef Yeshiva in of itself. And he was, I think, also the Sephardic rabbi in Hungary, and he studied at the famous Yeshivat Tiferet Yisrael in Haifa, and then I think later on he would learn in Yeshivat Pורת Yosef. Let's say it's a bastion of Sephardic Yeshivot in Israel, and very great, many great rabbis actually came from the famous Yeshivat Pורת Yosef, and we've spoken about it on various occasions before. He got married to the daughter of Arav Nisim Inai, very great rabbi who also mentioned about before. I think come what the year 1935, he was about 20, he was around 22 years of age. He was appointed as a rabbi in the Yeshivat Pורת Yosef, very prominent position, a ram, as they say over there. Very great position, very great roles he would actually take on, and he served in that position for decades. He was a great Kabbalist. He would study in the rabbinical society, I believe, with his father-in-law. I think another great rabbi happened to be Rabbi Ephraim Cohen, who was a very great rabbi. So he happened to be, I believe, the father of Rav Shalom Cohen. So I believe, yes. So he was a very great rabbi. It was Rabbi Ephraim Cohen was. He would live in the Beit Vegan neighborhood in Jerusalem. I think come what year 1977 it was. He would take on various roles and was awarded a title called the Yakirei Yerushalayim, which is very prominent, and I think he would move in the year 1992 around, if I'm not mistaken, to the city of Bnei Brak with his children. Very ultra-Orthodox and great Jewish community in of itself. I think sadly, I think his son, if I'm not mistaken, in the Hebrew year, Tafshin Nun Daled, passed away. He was, I think, 46 years of age, Harav Mordechai, a great rabbi. I think I think it was on the 2nd of Shvat in the Hebrew year Tafshin Nun Chet. He passed away himself, and he was buried in the rabbinic plot in Har HaMenochot. And I'll say what it says in Hebrew on his matzeva, on his stones. I think Zot matzevat kavurot nun sofet naran al avdecha ben amatecha Mansoor ben Yael mishpachat ben Shimon. And it says Taf Nun Tzadik Bet Hey. And it's actually interesting. There's a yeshiva called the Or Elitzur Yeshiva, which is headed by his son Rabbi Masud ben Shimon, and it's named after him, if I'm not mistaken. It's I believe based in Bnei Brak, in of itself a very great yeshiva, actually in the Ramat Elchanan neighborhood, a place we've actually visited on this channel on various occasions. I think there are streets named after him in Bnei Brak and also in Ashkelon, interesting enough, so all over the different countries. Now let's explore some of his descendants, including I think Yael, his daughter Yael happens to be wife of the former Shas spiritual party leader Rabbi Shalom Cohen, great rabbi who he was a Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Pורת Yosef in his day also. Now another one of his descendants is Rabbi Shlomo ben Shimon, another great rabbi, it's a part of the Moatzot Chachmei Torah, and the Ab Bet Din, head Bet Din role he's got in of itself, part of Bnei Brak. Rabbi Nisim ben Shimon, another great rabbi, I think a Rosh Ab Bet Din of Tel Aviv in Jaffa, respectively, head of Jewish courts also in Bnei Brak. Also Rabbi Mordechai ben Shimon, who's a great rabbi, a great Kabbalist. He, I think, passed away in the year Tafshin Nundalad, another great descendant. Also, Rabbi Mansoor ben Shimon, who we spoke about before, who's Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat or Elitzur, and the head Sephardi rabbi of the city of Bnei Brak and of Ramat Elchanan, which we just mentioned about before. Now, I believe there's a great Torah colossal work in 7 volumes in itself, which is Shemen HaMaor, another great book, which was on the Chalakei of, let's say, the Pardes of the Torah in of itself. Really, really great rabbis. And famously, there's a famous picture I'm actually looking at now as we speak, of him sitting with other great rabbis, Rabbi Yehuda Tzadka, Rabbi Yaakov Ades, and Rabbi Obadiah Yosef, together. Really, really one of the great rabbis of his time period. He passed away in 1998. He was one of the great rabbis of Yeshivat Phorat Yisrael, Yeshivat Phorat Yosef, had great descendants, came from great heritage, got awards from the government, and absolutely great rabbi. Please don't forget to light candles in the great rabbi's memory. Bet Shvat happens to be his ruler, and we've covered about 6 or 7 rabbis from the rabbinic family of the Ben Shimon rabbinic dynasty in of itself. Passed away, I believe he was approximately 86 years of age, which is what a great rabbi in of itself. So please light candles in his memory. Join the channel. We're exploring the history of the Sephardic Rabbonim, and we're a community here. And wishing you all well from Israel.